bigger problem is waste management. Households do not segregate waste properly, and once plastics gets contaminated, for sure it will not get recycled. It will just be thrown, it will form a part of the litter.
The major factors for a lot of waste generations is because of lack of knowledge, lack of education, lack of knowledge about government policies.
Overpopulation, that people are migrating from other states in Delhi for livelihood. Second, that people don't know how to manage the waste. And third thing is that people don't know the words reduce and reuse.
It is very difficult because when we buy, for example, I buy cornflakes, a packet of cornflakes or an oats. So it comes in plastic bag, right? So for carry bag also we need to find out a substitute.
The human population continues to grow relentlessly, and so does the generation of waste. A never-ending urge to fulfill our mechanized lifestyles has led to unsustainable consumption patterns, resulting in the generation of a humongous amount of waste across the globe. Did you know that the world generates about 2.01 billion tons of municipal solid waste annually? Consider the human population growth and overconsumption trends. It is estimated that the global waste generation could cross the 3 billion ton mark by the year 2050. Alarming, isn't it?
It seems that some societies are consuming 30 times more per capita than some of the ones which are developed. So there is certainly an overconsumption which can be curbed. And this leads to a specific requirement of lifestyle choices. Our lifestyle choices can mean that we do with fewer things. Instead of having 10 of an item, we have to do with 5 of an item. So these are lifestyle choices which grow towards greening of the planet.
It has been estimated that if we put all the waste into trucks, they will encircle the whole globe 24 times. That is the situation. And use of chemicals both in agriculture and industry, and many byproducts that we produce, these are thrown away in the environment knowingly, in a very unplanned way, without consideration that the waste could be converted into resource and can be used in other alternative ways.
Ineffective waste management systems have become a global menace, causing harm to our planet in many ways. Contamination of oceans, regular occurrences of floods in cities due to clogging of drains, transmission of various diseases, an increase in respiratory diseases due to burning of waste, and adverse effects on economies are some of the many detrimental effects.
Globally, only 1/3 of the waste is collected, and that if we consider the hazardous waste, only 5% of the hazardous waste are collected, are transported in a sustainable manner. So first question in the management is the collection, and that too collection is very haphazard. Whatever 20-30% is collected, it's not segregated into different components, and that makes waste very much problematic.
The amount of waste produced is driven through the economic strength, consumption patterns, and the population growth of a nation. While developed nations produce the larger amount of waste, it is the developing and less developed nations that are facing the brunt of unsustainably managed waste. As per studies, more than 90% of waste in less developed countries is disposed in landfills or is burned, causing serious health issues and damage to our environment.
Well, all waste must be recycled. Any waste which is not recycled affected our surroundings in many ways. It pollutes the air, it pollutes the surroundings around, it makes a difference to our health of our children, so it causes a lot of disturbance all around.
The population growth is affecting the carrying capacity of the environment. The Earth is home to more than 7.9 billion people who are consuming more than the planet can provide. A single person added to our population is a new consumer, adding to the demand.
Currently, the world is close to 8 billion people, and out of that 8 billion, 5 billion are the consumers. And they put huge pressure on our resources. So population is the main cause, not only for exploitation of resources, also for the loss of biodiversity, which is becoming a huge problem.
As per experts, at the current pace, humans are using the resources of 1.7 Earths, and if these trends continue, we would need 3 Earths to survive by 2050. As our population continues to grow, the rate of consumption increases, resulting in pressure on existing natural resources, overconsumption, and waste generation. Human activities have been attributed to generate various types of waste, such as municipal solid waste, agricultural waste, medical waste, industrial waste, and radioactive waste, to name a few. Plastic waste is one of the major drivers of waste generation around the globe. As consumers, we are highly dependent on single-use plastics, such as bottles, bags, and food packages. Around the world, 1 million plastic drinking bottles are purchased every minute. And around 5 trillion single-use plastic bags are used every year. As per experts, 50% of plastic goods produced are single-use products, and these are also the most commonly discarded types of plastic. These disposable plastics are made almost exclusively from fossil fuels. They degrade the environment and are a growing concern. Another growing waste hazard is electronic waste, or e-waste. Electronic waste volumes are surging globally. As per the Global Electronic Waste Monitor, the amount of electronic waste produced in the year 2021 crossed 57 million tons. Experts reveal that if combined, all this waste could be larger than the Great Wall of China. As per the United Nations, the global electronic waste can hit 74 million tons by the year 2030. It is evident that waste generation and its efficient management have become a global issue. Not only are humans generating an unprecedented amount of waste, they are also failing to deal with it in an environmentally friendly manner. An unsustainable population growth is just making matters worse.
Most of the waste is dumped into the dump sites or in water bodies or in many of the ecosystems like forest ecosystems, which are very useful to human beings. That is why the sustainable waste management system, lot of scientific input is required, and we need to deal with it in a very sensitive manner.
India is facing a massive waste management challenge. The second most populated country in the world produces around 65 million tons of waste every year. Uncontrolled urbanization has left India's megacities bursting at the seams, and they are struggling to manage their waste.
There are several factors why waste is generated in India in the ways that it's generated. Part of it is that there's much more consumption at every level. There are markets have opened out, there's more trading. Secondly, I think we are counting the waste much better than we used to. Most of the waste comes from urban India, and the Swachh Sarvekshan has forced a better system of data collection and data monitoring. So we are actually for the first time understanding how much waste we have in this country.
Indian economy is on the rise, the GDP is increasing, and so is the spending power of the middle class. And considering so many options available right at the doorstep, we have started spending a lot of money on e-commerce, which comes in a lot of packaging. So I believe the more income that we get, the more spending power we have, more resources will deplete at a very rapid pace, and the carrying capacity of our planet has been decreasing.
Municipal solid waste, electronic waste, biomedical waste, plastic waste and agricultural waste are the major contributors of waste generation in India. Studies show that plastic waste generation in India has more than doubled during the past 5 years, with an average increase of 21.8% annually. As per experts, India produced more than 3.4 million tons of plastic waste in 2019 to 2020, as compared to about 1.6 million tons of plastic waste produced in 2015 to 2016.
I think the biggest reason why we have so much plastics and it's increasing is because packaging has not seen an incentive or an innovation to move to other ways of trading and retailing materials, particularly food. Secondly, I think the plastic industry has also seen a huge expansion because there's been a penetration to rural India and to single-use plastics, particularly shampoos and other things. So that has also, been an increase in market and therefore an increase in packaging.
Government has started this initiative called EPR, Extended Producers Responsibility, wherein all the manufacturers of, or the FMCG companies or the electronic, producers, material producers, they need to collect the material, in the same chain it goes down from manufacturer to retailer to consumer, and in the same way it should come back to the company itself and it should go to the recycling units and facilities. Now this needs to be, replicated all across India.
Increasing domestic solid waste is becoming one of the most serious challenges for Indian cities. Waste generated from household activities such as cleaning and cooking often end up as garbage on roadsides or in overflowing dustbins, endangering the environment.
We, mix our waste. First of all, we don't really segregate our waste. That's the biggest challenge that as a country we are facing. If we don't segregate our waste, everything is lost. A material becomes waste eventually. For example, a PET bottle or MLP, multi-layer packaging plastics, they hold certain value to it. They have certain calorific value to it. They can be recycled. But if you mix it with the food waste, the value of both the the organic waste and the non-biodegradable waste is lost somewhere.
As per experts, people residing in metro cities of India produce an average 0.8 kilograms of waste per person per day. Studies also show that municipal solid waste typically consists of 51% of organic waste, 17% recyclable waste, 11% hazardous waste, and 21% inert waste. Like other countries in the world, India too registered a massive surge in the generation of biomedical waste during the pandemic, especially during the second wave. Statistics from the Center for Science and Environment suggest that India produced 139 tons of COVID-19 related biomedical waste per day in April 2021, which rose to 203 tons per day in the month of May, registering a staggering increase of 46%. The numbers are shocking. However, how does the country plan to tackle its waste? What are the policies that have been implemented?
Decentralized waste management is the way to go. When you decentralize it, the success rate is higher because there's community involvement and community monitoring.
Food waste should be converted into manure within the society. it should not go to the municipal corporation landfill site or waste management site. It should be managed within the society, so that only non-biodegradable waste goes to the municipal corporation. And that's how we can actually manage it.
Landfills are created for the proper disposal of solid waste and are a common sight, but they also cause a lot of hidden damage. The most pressing environmental concern regarding landfills is the release of methane gas, which negatively impacts the environment and our health.
I live near a landfill in Ghazipur. It's not pleasant. I have decided to leave this neighborhood because I have 2 children, both of whom frequently get ill because of the pollution.
Since we live near a landfill along with the foul smell, we also have to put up with smoke and pollution, which is the root cause of all diseases here.
Yeah, it can cause life-threatening issues. If they inhale these poisonous gases, then they can have cancer in the long run.
Domestic waste.
The landfills are increasing because we do not segregate our domestic waste. Segregating domestic waste at the source itself can help in minimizing the disposal of waste in landfills. It will also help in recycling waste.
3 Indian cities have adopted a zero landfill model of development, which seeks to phase out dependency on new landfills. These are Ambikapur in Chhattisgarh, Chandrapur in Maharashtra, and Taliparamba in Kerala. The model ensures recycling and reducing the need to create landfills. Mobius Foundation believes that the most critical component in any waste management program is public awareness and participation. It organized the Pass on Plastic, Circular Economy and Youth for Earth campaigns to generate awareness about waste segregation. Around 2,500 families in New Delhi took part of the 20-day campaign.
The first project that we started was Pass on Plastics in some 2 localities of Delhi, and where we organized the communities through RWAs, the Resident Welfare Committees, and asked them to collect the plastic from the waste, and we provided them separate collection bins. And these plastic was collected by the recycling agents. We connected these RWAs with those agents. Mobius stands for circularity, particularly sustainability. Mobius strip is you start from one point and finally come to the same point after taking a circle. This circular economy concept, which is new and one of the most effective tools to manage waste, we built the capacity of educational institutions and plastic industry particularly. We organized 4 training programs, 2 for plastic sector and SMEs and 2 for educational institutions. We gave an example of one of the schools in Assam, Saksham school, and where the students, they collect their domestic waste, particularly plastics, bring it to school, and that is in lieu of their textbooks, their exercise books and fees also. The other program that we did was about mobilizing the youth. We have a campaign, Youth for Earth campaign, where we mobilize youth to take up practical action projects. Some of the waste was collected from the schools and these were given to the recycling agents.
Disposal of solid wastes is a widespread problem in both urban and rural areas, but it can be tackled. Meet Mewal Lal, the secretary of Muskan Jyoti Samiti. The organization has designed an economical and self-sustaining model of treating waste in the village of Niwari in Uttar Pradesh.
Muskan Jyoti Samiti is a Lucknow-based organization and is working in the area of municipal solid waste management since 1994. This technology implemented in Niwari has been designed by me.
The model uses anaerobic waste treatment technology to convert solid waste into recyclable and reusable waste.
This technology is called aerobic waste treatment. 2 brick walls of 4 inches each are erected facing each other with a 4-inch gap between them. There are holes all along the walls to let the oxygen through. Waste generated in the kitchen and other organic waste like leaves etc. is stacked against the open-ended sides of the walls. A microbe culture is then added to the waste. It then takes 30 to 35 days for the waste to convert into compost.
This waste collection and treatment system in Niwari not only helps in the effective removal of the garbage, but also generates jobs for the unskilled workforce of the village. Clean, garbage-free cities are not a pipe dream. The city of Indore, situated in Madhya Pradesh, has been ranked India's cleanest city for the 5th year in a row by Swachh Survekshan 2021, the central government's annual cleanliness survey to promote sanitation in urban centers under the Swachh Bharat mission.
India's aim is not only to stabilize the population, but to make sure that everybody has a basic standard of living. And that basic standard of living will cost a lot of resources and create a lot of waste. So what we have to do strategically is to reduce the consumption by the middle and the upper middle classes.
The relationship between population growth, resource consumption, and environmental degradation is all too evident.
We need to motivate more people, engage more communities, and make them stakeholders in this process, rather than just looking for answers from the municipal corporations or the state governments or the central government. We need to look for answers within our houses also. That how exactly can we reduce our footprint on this planet while we are here.
It forms the basis of some of the most pressing issues the human race is facing in the 21st century. There is a direct link between overconsumption and waste generation.
More the people, more the waste. Less the people, less the waste. And on that principle, population stabilization is the key to not only waste management, but to sustainable development and to solve all other planetary issues of climate change, biodiversity loss, and environmental sustainability.
It is, however, our responsibility to reduce our consumption, recycle waste, and reuse goods to minimize waste generation. Adopting sustainable consumption and production patterns will go a long way in securing a promising future for all.